My name is Sheil Akinlua. I'll be talking about societal values as relating to traveling abroad. It's common these days to see people, respecting people who are abroad compared to people who are at home, struggling, trying to do things in their own way, trying to make the best out of life. But then I realized that those ones who are trying to make the best out of life are often being neglected. And then the other person who is abroad, whom they don't even know whether he's doing well or not. The society tends to place more value on the one abroad, and I think it should not be so. Everyone needs to be respected, everyone needs to be loved, everyone needs to be appreciated. If a man is working diligently, he should be appreciated, not necessarily the one who lives abroad. And sometimes people are in denial and they don't even know what's happening with people who are abroad. They just say, oh, my uncle is abroad, my friend is abroad, and they don't even know what the friend is doing. Many times people don't even ask their relatives abroad what they are doing. Whereas the ones who are at home struggling are often being looked down on. It should not be so. It doesn't matter where we live. It doesn't matter where we are. But the most important thing is that everyone should strive to be all that God wants them to be. And that should be it. No one should be pushed aside. No child should be looked down upon because his mates are abroad or because our mates are abroad. No, it should not be so. I do tell people there's an adage that says not all that glitters is gold. On the other side, for those people who are abroad, and then those people who are at home, those ones who are abroad, sometimes they feel, only if these ones at home know what I'm doing here. They won't even just call me for money. They won't even think I'm doing well. Some people are abroad and they are not really living how the lives God really wants them to be or to live. Some people are at home, they are also not living how the kind of life God really wants them to live. Sometimes I tell people it's not just all about location, it's all about the covenant backing of God upon the life of a man and the choices everyone makes. The choices everyone makes. For example, let me talk about, let's say, for example, there's a bank manager. He's been working very hard and then he feels, oh, his mates are traveling abroad. He also needs to travel. There's nothing wrong having that kind of passion or dream. But let's traveling abroad, don't let it just be the dream that you have. No. It's more than that. Living the life God wants us to live is not just bound to locations only, but your whole entity, your whole self. And that's why I say it doesn't matter the location where you are. Just be yourself. For example, like I was saying about the man who, for example, is a bank manager in his home country, and he has heard about that he has heard that people are traveling abroad, and he also wants to make that journey. Sometimes people forget the fact that where they are maybe even be better than the so-called abroad that people hype for so many reasons. Well, for so many reasons, yes, for so many reasons. But then they forget the place of favor. Sometimes people just chase after bread only. I will just quickly talk about a story in the Bible, and it's relating to Naomi and Ruth. Naomi left a land, Bethlehem, and she went to a place called Moab. The Bible makes us to understand that she left her place, she left her country because there was famine in the land. And then she went to Moab because there was bread in that land. There was bread. And no doubt, it's not like the bread is not important. The bread is important. And then she had to leave because there was famine. But then at some point in life, life had tolls on her. And she went back home. When she got back home, I'm sure maybe, for example, people were hailing her. She said, don't call me Naomi. Naomi means pleasant. She said, call me Mara, which means bitter. For the Lord has dealt bitterly with her. A man said something, his name is Angus Stewart. He said it was in that chapter that Naomi talked about God. But the previous chapter, talking about her movement, she didn't talk about God. She didn't make anything, as in she didn't say that maybe Naomi prayed to God, she made inquiries from God on a personal level, not with anyone saying, help me pray. No. But it was recorded that it was in that other chapter she talked about God has dealt bitterly with her. It wasn't there abroad, no. But then events of life happened to her. So that means wherever we are, whether abroad or at home, life can have its toll on people. And that's why I tell people spiritual warfare too is real abroad. It doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes some people may say, oh, they are suffering where they are. Maybe demons are chasing them and they feel, oh, they just want to change location. They just want to move elsewhere. It's not the moving elsewhere that, well, maybe or maybe not. It may not be the movement that would actually bring about the changes expected. But I say warfare is real. We have to trust God. We have to learn from God. And then sometimes God may just want us to stay in a particular place. Even if there is famine in the land. Even if, things are not going well as we had planned it. In life, I tell people we are not bound, by location. We are not bound by whatever people say. But you and I, we need to make choices based on what God tells us. So that at the end of the day, we can tell God, we can go back to God. God, you said I should move. You provided the means. You provided the way. You opened the door and I followed through. So, I remember when I was growing, when I was trusting God for marriage, I remember one of my friends said, are you sure it's the one? What has God said? And then I'm asking you right now, are you sure it's God? What is God saying regarding your traveling? Like I do said earlier on, you're not bound by location. You're not bound by what people have said. But just you follow God's plan for your life. And then also follow your lane. You may be on the road driving. And then there are so many people on in and telling you move or else will sweep you out of the way. Or it's like if you look back, it's like a lot of people are behind you and you feel tensed. Don't let pressures make you decide whether to stay or whether to leave. But you trust God. Ask God where He wants you to be. Ask God. There is famine everywhere, but not literally everywhere like that. But sometimes, people don't even know the things they could be missing. They don't even know the things they could also gain when they move. They don't know the things they could gain when they stay. Just be where God wants you to be. Don't let the values of the society put you down. Just be where God wants you to be. You are great. Trust God. Follow God. It doesn't matter whether people look down on you because you are not abroad. No, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you live a life pleasing to God. What matters is that you follow God with all of your heart. You love God with all your heart. At the end of the day, it's not be said, oh, it's people who lived abroad that would see God. It's not people who stayed at home alone that would see God. It's based on individual relationship with God, individual relationships with God. And that is it. Don't let the society pull you down. I want you to just, be all that God wants you to be. That is very important. Diligence pays. Hard work pays. At the end of the day, the favor of God makes a man great. Don't exchange the place of favor for bread. Don't leave the place where God has decided to favor you for bread. Don't leave it, to follow other people's dream. Every man has got a dream. And at the end, and also don't settle for mediocrity. Be the best. Thank you. Bye. Thanks.